What's going on, family? It's your man BMT, and we got a story coming out of Kazakhstan with my man Danny Flight Madness, who's been a repeated guest on the show. All right, we call him our Asian correspondent. He's been living in China for 10 years, and right now he's doing a little country hopping out there in Asia, which led him to Kazakhstan, all right, in the city of Almaty. So he's out there, and he's enjoying it. We did a couple of streams about it. And of course, him being, different out there, being somewhat exotic, being a tall black man, he's been getting a lot of attention from the ladies. And he ends up in a late night club out there. And he had a few issues once a woman decided she wanted to dance with him with some of the local Kazakh guys. Let's tune in.
Okay, I was dancing with her a little bit. I was like, okay, I started dancing more with her. We're kind of closer together now because she really wanted to dance with me. Like, she pushed me onto the dance floor, guys. Like, she was pretty aggressive, man. And yeah, after about 20 or 30 seconds, some random Kazakh guy, he puts his arm, I see him kind of putting his arm between us, like he's trying to push her away. And at first I'm like, okay, what's going on here? It's kind of weird. And then a few seconds later, he kind of pushes her away from me. He pushes her, and he gets in my face, and he's like screaming and like he's like really aggressive, right? I was just chilling, like, I was standing by the dance floor, just kind of minding my own business, right? And this girl, she's pretty hot actually. She was really good looking. She was standing, she was kind of dancing in my way. Like I kind of felt her like looking at me, but I saw in her group, like it was her and like 3 or 4 other people, and there was a guy in her group, right? So I thought maybe the guy in the group was her boyfriend. I saw them kind of looking at each other, so I didn't want to get in there. I heard before I came to Kazakhstan that Kazakh guys have a reputation for fighting, right? So I kind of played it safe. Like I didn't want anything to happen. I was just kind of minding my own business. I didn't want to get involved. Okay, I thought maybe that could be her boyfriend or something. So I was just, I was just doing my own thing, I was trying to avoid eye contact with her. And then I just felt she kept moving in my direction, and eventually she kind of angled her body right at me, and she was kind of like trying to get me to dance with her a little bit. And so, I was kind of cautious because I was like, I thought I didn't know what was happening with the girl, right? But she wanted to dance with me. So, I was playing it cautious. I was dancing a little bit just to be friendly, but not enough to like, really say I was pushing it. But then the girl gets more aggressive, right? The girl walks behind me. She pushes me onto the dance floor. So she really wants to dance with me, right? And okay, I thought, okay, this kind of aggressive situation. I was like, okay. First, I asked her, like, hey, that guy you got over there at your table, that guy in the white, is he your boyfriend? Is he your boyfriend? And she said, no, it's not my boyfriend. He's just a friend. And I was like, okay,
Okay, yeah.
okay, yeah, like but hey, it ended up she was telling the truth. But like at the beginning, I was kind of cautious. I was like, okay, I don't really know about this. And then okay, I was dancing with her a little bit. I was like, okay, I started dancing more with her. We're kind of closer together now because she really wanted to dance with me. Like she pushed me onto the dance floor, guys. Like she was pretty aggressive, man. Some random Kazakh guy, he puts his arm. I see him kind of putting his arm between us, like he's trying to push her away. And at first, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? It's kind of weird. And then a few seconds later, he kind of pushes her away from me. He pushes her, and he gets in my face, and he's like screaming and like he's like really aggressive, right? I don't know what's going on because he's like yelling and like he's either speaking Russian or Kazakh, right? Because in Kazakhstan they speak Russian and they speak Kazakh. He started screaming in my face, and I was trying to keep it cool, right? I was trying to keep it cool. I was like, hey, I don't really speak Russian. I'm just here studying language. Her and I just dancing. But he was screaming in my face, like, and he was pointing at the door, like, get out, get out. He was in my face, like, get out of this club, like you dancing with, like it seemed pretty clear he was saying, you dance with that girl, you get out of this club. And a random guy that she does not know. So when they see you coming to the club and you got beautiful women who are kind of on you instantly, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, as a black man, if you're a decent looking black guy, it seems like in Kazakhstan, like, as soon as you they're gonna be paying attention to you, man. They're gonna be paying attention.
So as you can see here, guys, the Kazakh guys are not feeling, the American guy, the brother, really dancing with their girls. Even though he didn't really initiate it, they just don't like it because they feel like, these are our women. We're protecting our women. These women aren't for us. They're not for you. They're not for you just for you to play with or anything like that. These are our women. And we had somewhat of a similar incident out there, unfortunately, in Greece with Bakari Henderson. Rest in peace to him. Where a woman approached him to dance in the club, and 6 guys, jumped him and ended up murdering him. It was a very tragic story out there in Greece. It went international, worldwide, definitely went viral. Rest in peace to him. So this is kind of be a similar incident. Now, I didn't get to this level of violence, luckily, but it's just unfortunately what could happen in some of these countries off the beaten path, especially countries that's just not really, liberal like that. Muslim countries that are not really down or not comfortable with interracial relationships per se.
Travelversity in the building. Shout out to my boy BMT, man. Yeah, go cop the new merch.
Then he grabs that guy who's screaming at me. He grabs like one of his friends and he speaks to him in like Kazakh or Russian. And that guy comes and talks to me. Now that guy, he's pretty cool. He had pretty cool personality. But basically, he told me like, hey, my friend said maybe you should get out the club or like you should leave here. And I was sitting there like, why I gotta leave here? Like, what's going on? And then one of the girls in that girl group, so the girl who was dancing with me, I told you guys she was with a group of people. And she ran and got the bodyguard. And the bodyguard is a cool guy. He's like really big, 6'5" Kazakh guy. And he came in and he got between me and the guy and he kind of pulled the guy out the club. And the guy's like yelling at him. He's yelling all kind of crazy stuff. Eventually, I asked that girl, like, hey, that guy who was screaming at me, did you know that guy? And she said, no, I didn't know that guy. Like, I don't know who that is. Everybody was shocked, right? So that guy kind of ruined the night because, like, it was already towards the end of the night. So there weren't many black men in the club. I mean, not black men. So there weren't many people in the club, right? And so the club was already closing. So that guy, he kind of just ruined the night. And the girl, like, she was kind of scared. She moved away. And her friend, the guy who I thought might be her boyfriend, he came over and talked to me. And he was like, hey, man, sorry, Kazakhstan guys are very protective of their girls. This night, I didn't get the girl, but, I learned a lesson, right? We go to the club, as soon as we hit the dance floor, man, girls are looking at us, right? It's like, as soon as we get on the dance floor, girls are looking our direction. And we were on the dance floor dancing a little bit, and like girls were just like kind of circling around us. Like they were trying to pull us in. So, some girls, they were trying to dance with us. And as soon as we got in there, one guy, he's in this video, right? Like the fat, short guy on the left wearing black. He's like all sweaty. That guy, bruh, he was like super aggressive. Like as soon as he saw the other girls looking at us, like as soon as he saw the girls looking at us, he was about to come over there and like try to fight me. Then his friend like held him back. Like these Kazakhstan guys, they go from 0 to 100 really quickly. They go from 0 to 100 really quickly. And it's really like animalistic and it's really crazy. Basically the same thing happened that night. And another guy actually came up to me. And he came up to me. First, he was acting kind of friendly. Like he shook my hand. He asked me where I'm from. And I said, okay, I'm from America. Then he took out his phone translator and he typed in Russian. And he showed me the translator. It said, these are our girls. I was trying okay, your girls? Like, is he saying like Kazakh Men girls? He was like, yeah, these girls, these are our girls. So he's trying to say like, hey, like don't do anything freaky with these girls because they're our girls. Like he's trying to like scare me from talking to the girls.
And as you can see, the guys, approached him several times and said, hey, man, you better get out of here. These guys are serious. These Kazakh guys don't kind of play about, guys, foreigners or brothers even kind of, messing around with their women or dating their women, even though the women are kind of choosing on them. These guys, it's a different culture. And this is the things that we got to understand. Everybody, every culture isn't as liberal as Western culture, where we kind of accept guys coming from other countries dating our American women. We know that American women kind of can do what they want to do, and we have the understanding that, okay, it's whatever over here in America. Well, it's not like that overseas. You definitely got to be careful when you kind of cross-hop into those different cultures, and the men aren't not comfortable with you being around their women. Things can definitely go wrong late night in these clubs, alcohol, fuel, and everything. They see, hey man, I'm out here busting my ass trying to, get, the woman of my dreams, the Kazakh woman of my dreams. And here goes a foreigner. Here goes some tall black dude who can just kind of swoop in and get any woman he wants. Some guys are going to have a big issue with that. Everybody's not liberal like Americans are liberal in concerns of, our women and things like that, of that nature. We definitely understand that, American women, they like foreign guys with accents and everything. That's kind of normal. But overseas, it can be very different, right? It can be very different. So you definitely want to be careful on how to move. And you want to kind of peep the scene, understand like, okay, a little bit of the culture before you kind of go out and start just dating women in these, nightclubs, because we know things can definitely go wrong. Luckily, things didn't escalate to violence. The bouncer kind of stepped in, and another guy stepped in on a second situation to kind of calm things down. But, this is nothing to play with, because things can definitely get out of hand, out of control, because these guys are trying to prove a point to these women. They want to show these women that, hey, we're not going to allow you to date foreigners. We're not going to allow you to, be with this black guy, just kind of go off in the sunset. You're ours, and, in their eyes, they might be protecting their women to a certain degree. So you definitely want to be careful when you kind of moving around these countries off the beaten path. Liberal countries like Thailand and Cambodia, you don't really have that issue per se. But in some of these, these Asian, Eastern countries, they kind of look at it a certain way when the tall brother kind of pulls up and gets any woman he wants in the club. So guys, let me know what you think. Should Passport Bro still remain going to these, these countries off the beaten path, or should they stick to certain countries that, we can date comfortably in? All right, peace.